Welcome in,
My dad is.
everybody. Welcome in. The Epstein files are due to be released tomorrow. Welcome in, everybody on YouTube. This has the potential to be a busy day tomorrow. Has the potential to be a very busy day tomorrow. And we'll see how that turns out. A lot of news to talk about, a lot of stuff to go over, a lot of which I went over on TikTok this morning. If you don't watch me on TikTok, I recommend following me there because I do morning streams over there. And I talk in depth about a lot of stuff. So it's important you follow me over there in the morning too. Put it on while you're at work, whatever the case is. But I think the biggest news of the day, the biggest news related to the Epstein files. Let's go over that. So the biggest news related to the Epstein files is the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell filed a motion in federal court to overturn her conviction. To overturn her conviction. That's a pretty big deal. Why? Well, I suspect it could, not guaranteed, but could interfere with the release of the Epstein files. Now, just considering the timing, I refuse to believe it's a coincidence that Ghislaine Maxwell files an appeal the day before the release of the Epstein files. Additionally, Dan Bongino announced his resignation. I think we're going to get redacted files. I think there is going to be substantial redactions. And I don't think that's going to satisfy anyone's need, what anyone wants here concerning transparency. We know that the Justice Department is, according to sources, racing to redact thousands of pages right now related to victims and so on. But I'm not sure why we're waiting till the 30th day to do this. Lawyers working on the Epstein files at the Department of Justice National Security Division said they aren't getting clear or comprehensive direction on how to make the most information available under the law, according to sources. Counterintelligence specialists were asked to drop nearly all of their work to process the Epstein documents today, sources also said. But some lawyers declined to participate. I'm not sure legally why they waited till the last minute. I don't know. But I think it won't surprise me if we don't get transparency here. That's 100% my prediction. And I just wonder whether Trump supporters are going to wake up when they get a packet of redactions tomorrow. Like, at what point are you willing to admit that it's a conspiracy? At what point? So what's going on, everybody? Deb, Tracy, what's going on? Reapers, what's up? Dory, Melanie, Caton, Neverland, Marianne. What's going on, everybody? This guy said, oh, do you need validation from Trump supporters? Pathic. What do you mean pathic? You mean pathetic? Mama Mickey, what's going on? It's funny. The crowd that claimed this was so important now suddenly don't care on the eve of when these files are supposed to be released. If you are a Trump supporter, you can call in. It's that easy. 908 652 3703. It's that easy. No way we get all the Epstein files tomorrow. Nope, we're already hearing that they're racing to redact files. Again, it's just a question of whether you're willing to look at the truth, whether you're willing to accept the truth. Do you think it's a coincidence that Ghislaine Maxwell files a motion the day before the Epstein Transparency Act forces the release of these documents? No, absolutely not. Charsity, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says they've been pushing the goalposts so far in the direction of never-ending devotion. It's disgusting. It really is. It really is. But there's no point in trying to get that through to them. There's no point in trying to get that through to them. Believe me, I've tried. They don't care. And there's not going to be a point where they recognize it and care. But I think Trump supporters have gone slightly under. Maybe they're embarrassed. I don't know. But, guys, Universal Legacy is really mad that you're sending me money. So if you guys want to send money on behalf of Universal Legacy, let me know. If you guys want to send me money on behalf of Universal Legacy, let me know. He's really pissed off that you're sending me super chats. So Universal Legacy, anyone that sends super chats now, it's going to be in honor of you. Kate in Neverland, thank you for the $5 super chat. They will do literally anything to delay, and MAGA will just twist themselves into pretzels and defend it. 100%. That is exactly the case. Listen, Trump supporters, call in. Don't sit in the comments and cry. I've made it available for you to call in and vent your frustrations. Tomorrow is the release of the Epstein files. Tomorrow is the release of the Epstein files. Say that's a pretty damn big deal. I'd say that's a pretty big deal. Should we ignore it? Should we just not say anything about it? Would you prefer it that way? It is a quality microphone. It's a HyperX microphone. Clown. Here, I'll do you a favor. I'm just going to permanently hide you on the channel, Chris. Or Critical, rather. Goodbye, Critical. You're not allowed to comment anymore. You're not allowed to comment anymore. I've permanently barred you from commenting. Tara, thank you so much, Tara. Listen, I want to say this to you guys. This is going to piss you off so much. This is going to piss you off. Tara, thank you so much. Tara, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo to piss off your haters. Thank you, Tara. Damn, I bet they're triggered. You know they're triggered. Man, I haven't heard the term crankbait in a long time. They were hoping they wouldn't have to release them. They've just made a concerted effort to delay and to keep, like, so for instance, Donald Trump sending his deputy attorney general to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell to interfere with the Oversight Committee's investigation is an example, trying to convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition. The FBI testifying that no young girls were trafficked to anyone but Epstein himself. Donald Trump calling it a hoax. Ghislaine Maxwell filing a motion. According to the bill, certain redactions can be made depending on whether or not there's active appeals and or investigations. Are you a Trump supporter? Hello?
No, sir. This is Sheppy. I just wanted to call and tell you something.
What's up?
You were talking today about the 30% off for Thanksgiving, and you were wondering where that came from, and I have the answer. I'm sorry, sir, 33% off Thanksgiving dinner. And I have the answer to that question. Donald Trump compared last year's Walmart's package for Thanksgiving dinner, which sold for like, I don't know, $27.99 or something along that lines, and compared it to here, where it was 33% less, but they took out like 7 items and went to a bunch of name brand stuff. That is why he said stuff costs 33% less. I'm not kidding. And I will take up no more of your time, sir.
How'd you figure that out?
I heard it off the... I heard Donald Trump say it, man. I swear to God.
Oh, my God.
It was on the news, brother. I'm not making this up.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'll Google it and drop the link in Discord.
Yeah, do that. I want to read it.
You got it, man. Thank you so much.
That's funny. He didn't. He lied so much during that presidential address yesterday. The graphs: 33% reduction in price of turkeys from the last 12 months, claiming there was zero drugs being trafficked by ocean or sea. In his words, he said. No, I'm sorry. He said 94% reduction in drugs being trafficked by ocean and or sea. He said 0% undocumented immigrants across the border. Carly Martinez, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Carly. Yep, it was a point of discussion around them. That's fucking hilarious. It really is. Charcity, thank you, Charcity. That's funny as hell. Yeah, Jeremy, do you realize how fucking funny that is? How pathetic that is? Because that's not the statement he made. He said turkeys were 33% cheaper. He embarrassed himself. He embarrassed himself last night. That was an embarrassment. And then, of course, you have the warrior dividends that don't go to any retirees. That political gesture. And they were celebrating that today, too, by the way.
Call from
Cosmo Dave, 69.
What's going on?
I want to get Adam's...
Yeah, you're here. You're good. What's up? You're talking to him. What's up?
All right, I'm going to leave a picture. I'm going to leave a comment. It's just going to say 666.
E. Green, thank you so much for the $2 super
now?
chat. Appreciate you, E. Green. Yeah, what's going on? Go ahead.
All right. When my picture comes up, it says Cosmo Dave 66. This is what I want you to do. Okay, screenshot that and then look at that photo. Screenshot it, and then expand it and look at the photo. It's the only way I can get this.
Well, what is it?
It's a video of Charlie Kirk's security detail.
Yeah.
Doing an armpit trick shot. The guy's out in the sun. He looks like David Lee Roth as far as he's got short hair.
Hold on.
Dude, he's got a nickel-plated gun underneath his armpit, and the sun is shining off of it. Look at the picture and just tell me what you see.
I don't know that I can see. I see what you're talking about with his arm. What's in his hand?
Just expand that. That's when it was the gun. If he spun around, if he kept the gun tight against his armpit after shooting it instead of dropping it, and if he spun around, he would be out of the sunlight. The sun is beaming off the gun because he drops it after he shoots Charlie, and he takes out his Adam's apple.
I can't. Try and send me a clearer picture. This one's blurry to me.
If you go to my X at Cosmo Dave 69, I actually have the video. And it's really slow. I got this video just from another phone. I didn't find it, but I got it from another phone. But here's the thing. A couple days after, the 13th, this was on TikTok, and that video got me banned. That's the shooter, the guy that was out there wearing denim blue, shot him underneath the armpit, dropped the gun, and that's the mistake he made. Because you can see in the picture, he shot him, and when he dropped the gun, the sun is bouncing off the nickel-plated gun.
Well, I'll take a look at it. I'm willing to consider anything. I'll look at it and check it out, and I'll let you know. Thanks, dude.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Have a good
Take care. Gary, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat, Gary. Appreciate you, Gary. Yeah, I don't know and E. Green, thank you. I don't know the circumstances around Charlie Kirk's thing. It is strange, most certainly, but I'll look at it. I can't really tell from that picture, but, I'm certainly willing to look at it. Celtic, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you for all you do. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you, Celtic. I'm glad you stuck around. I appreciate it. So tomorrow's and Celtic, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. I was considering not coming on tonight. I was considering, like, just taking a break tonight because I think tomorrow is going to be pretty fucking serious regardless of which way it goes. I think if we end up getting a dud and there's not they're not transparent with the release of these files tomorrow, I think that's going to be a big deal. And if it's released and there is valuable information in there about the president or others, that's going to be a big deal. So no matter which way it goes tomorrow, it's going to be a big deal. As I'm reading here that frustration is mounting inside the Justice Department, that they need a substantial number of redactions, right? And that they're having trouble doing this. Lawyers working on the Epstein files at the DOJ's National Security Division believe they aren't getting clear or comprehensive direction on how to make the most information available under the law. Counterintelligence specialists were asked to drop nearly all of their other work to process the Epstein files, two people said. But some lawyers declined to participate. So this is just not looking good. This article says the Epstein files are vast and thousands of records held by different sections of federal law enforcement have to be picked up through to determine whether they are responsive to the transparency law's requirements or need to be redacted because of various rules and to protect Epstein's victims. Again, we now have one of the real legitimate justifications in the Ghislaine Maxwell appeal that absolutely can redact that information. Yeah, Congress doesn't need to be in session to release the Epstein files, though, because that's the Department of Justice. The role they would have would be in approving redactions, I guess, but technically the Department of Justice is responsible for its release. I can't imagine they're waiting until the last fucking day. Illusion, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. I really honestly believe we're not going to get anything either. And I think it's going to be celebrated by these clowns instead of actually looking at the fact that, hey, there's redactions. What does this information mean? I don't think we're going to. I think it's going to be covered up. And I think everything up until this point, everything that I've been compiling and talking about on a daily basis in terms of the effort to conceal this information is being overlooked. Completely overlooked. And there's only one political party that's protecting politicians. I don't give a shit about political affiliation when it comes to this. I just want transparency. The unwillingness to look at it at all, man, that's a label I don't want applied to me, I'll tell you that. So there are only 4 pages the lawyers have been given as internal guidance to follow to make the redactions. Nearly all of the guidelines the lawyers have received articulate the exemptions to the transparency law. So they're trying to figure out what they can redact and what they can't redact. Those redactions, maybe they're, they would have to be consistent throughout the entire, throughout the entire release. And you don't want certain information to get out about victims. So now all of a sudden, the Department of Justice is saying that they're in the dark on what the rules are on the 29th day of the release? What is happening here? This can't be real. And you shouldn't tolerate it. The phone is back on if you'd like to call in, 908-652-3703. 908-652-3703. Yeah, I mean, again, all I know is that the goal for the investigation that was launched after he couldn't convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition, and the timing of the Maxwell motion indicate to me they want to redact a large amount of information. I've said before, I think there's a conspiracy going on there. I mean, you can curse. I mean, I prefer you don't. I mean, can you not talk without cursing?
Call from.
Hello, how are you? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
KeyCat3, thank you for the $10 super chat. MAGA is disturbing on all levels, hate, bigotry, and stupidity. Their unwillingness to look at this is deeply concerning. Okay, so what are your thoughts? What's your take?
Personally, it was like, I just thought it was impressive, and I thought it was pretty dope when Charlie's neck exploded. And
okay, I'm not sure what that's your take. You're a Trump supporter, and that's your take. Interesting, to say the least. Oh, it's hard not to curse in MAGA. Well, sometimes I do. I don't say 100% of the time I'm not going to be cursing, because that's an unreasonable standard, but I just try not to. That's all. I try not to. So some of the Epstein victims have said they feel as if they're in the dark on how the files are being prepared. They said they've gotten no outreach from the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice would not respond to that. So let's talk about this. Who's doing the redacting? The Justice Department's National Security Division. The Justice Department's National Security Division. I just don't trust this at all. How can you trust this if the Department of Justice was simultaneously interfering with the Oversight Committee's investigation? So so here we go. So we're getting some timing here. So the latest round of the redaction work happened over Thanksgiving, I guess, shortly after the Transparency Act. They had done a similar push on redactions early in the Trump administration because the FBI was originally responsible for those redactions. Let's read this here. The national security lawyers aren't among the Justice Department's division that classically handles document processing or even sex crimes or conspiracies, as had been alleged of the late Epstein and his convicted partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. A different part of the Justice Department, where lawyers handle Freedom of Information Act requests, are more typically tasked to handle document redaction projects, especially before this Trump administration. The National Security Section also isn't the office that investigated Epstein years ago, another group that could weigh in on the files and transparency. But it's not like they haven't previously handled redaction projects. I have a hunch, but well, yeah, call in and give your point of view right now. If you're a Trump supporter, what are you afraid of? Call in 908-652-3703. The Bongino departure is also very telling. Very telling. I mean, you have to look at the timing, right? Like the timing is the biggest part of this, right? Patriot 144 says, "Get a life, you dork." Why don't you call in? Just call in. That's all you have to do. Call in. That's what you have to do. Show me up. Show me I'm wrong. The Bongino timing was weird. I knew that was going to happen because they appointed a co-deputy director of the FBI. And so they don't do that unless you're on your way out, right? They don't appoint a co-deputy director unless you're on the hot seat anyway. Bondi's not been happy with the work of Patel, but really what this is connected to is Bongino walking out of the FBI building when Bondi informed Trump that he was in the files. Word has it Bongino was not happy about that, and then they had that secret meeting, remember? And then you didn't hear from Bongino again. Gary says, people in the chat are very disillusioned and Trumpers. What are things to expect? Yeah, I mean, they definitely are. Can you dive deeper into the Bongino timing? Hey, answer this call and I'll answer that question. Yes, I can dive deeper into the Bongino timing. Let me just answer this. What's going on? Are you a Trump supporter? Hello? Hello? I can't hear you if you're talking. 812, what's up? Okay, you called in and didn't say anything. Nice. So, yeah, so the Bongino stuff, let's talk about it, right? Dan Bongino built a career on social media about the Epstein files. That's what his content was about forever. And basically, when he's friends with Kash Patel. That's the reason he's in there. I'm not sure Trump trusted Bongino as much, but Patel trusted Bongino, and Trump trusts Patel. And so what happened was when we first got word that Bondi had informed Trump he was in the files, Bongino walked out. They thought he was quitting. He literally walked out of the FBI. There was apparently some kind of a fight or something, and he walked out. They held a secret meeting, and then what happened was the media found out about that meeting. So they said then they weren't having the meeting. And then we found out later they had the meeting anyway. And then since then, we have not heard from Bongino specifically about the Epstein files. Suspicious, right? And then they announced there was going to be a co-deputy director of the FBI, kind of hush-hush. We heard that Bondi wasn't happy with the work the FBI's been doing. And then we heard rumors that Bongino was going to step down. I think it is entirely connected to the Epstein stuff. I think it's a major part of it. Or maybe Bongino just sees, hey, I don't want to be a part of the accountability trials when this is all over. You know, maybe Bongino says, hey, I know what these guys are doing is illegal, and I don't want to be a part of it. That's entirely possible, too. Yeah, we got a lot of Trump supporters crying in the chat. You know, that's what they do. They have the opportunity to call in. This guy wrote, Trump is your king? Oh, my God. This other guy says, y'all were real quiet about these Epstein files for 4 years. This shit is a distraction. I've been talking about the Epstein files for years, you clown. I've been talking about the Epstein files for years. But you know what the distinct difference between Biden and Trump in regards to the Epstein files is? You know what the distinct difference is? Biden, after 50 years in elected politics, has never been accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Epstein. Biden's not in any pictures. There's 95,000 pictures. By the way, more were released today, and we'll get to that in a second. Biden's not in any of them. Kamala Harris is not in any of them. I know that you've seen some Photoshop pictures, but Kamala Harris is not associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And neither is Joe Biden, and neither is Barack Obama. This is about Trump because Trump is the person that's in the files. Trump should be the one that has to deal with this. Michael, that's been debunked, Michael. You're talking about Ashley Biden. That's been debunked, Michael. It's been debunked, my guy. I love how they're calling it a distraction. It's not a fact, Precision. You don't know what you're talking about. You can call in and I'll prove you wrong. Like, it's that easy. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? And let's be clear, it's not like I can't paint Trump as a creep without even using the Epstein files. I don't even have to use the Epstein files to paint Trump as a creep. Don't pretend I have to use the Epstein files, because I don't. It's crazy, guys. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's relationship, and these Muppets are talking about Hunter Biden. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, and they're talking about Hunter Biden. Who's the problem? Jesus. He's not even in elected politics. Not even in elected politics. And you guys are talking about Hunter Biden. He's not in elected politics. Stop bringing up Hunter freaking Biden. I'm tired of it. God, it's so fucking annoying. Stop bringing up Hunter Biden. Amy Cat, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Amy. Thank you so much, Amy. God, it fucking drives me crazy. Bringing up somebody who's not even in elected fucking politics. Yeah, but the Epstein files are being released by the Department of Justice. It just drives me nuts, man. We're talking about something so serious here. This guy, Martin Speaks, says this dude won't debate anyone unless it's on his channel. I've debated several people off my channel. Who are you? Martin Speaks? Who the hell's Martin Speaks? Why did that guy hang up? Martin Speaks, who are you? I've never even heard of you. What are you talking about? I won't debate someone off my platform. If that's your way of asking me to debate off of my platform, that's not the way to go about it, kid. All right? I've debated several people off my platform. I've debated Republicans 1v8 before. People have watched me that are in here, have watched me do it. You clearly aren't on TikTok, or you would know that's not true. To the person that said Trump is the only president who cares about our troops, he calls them suckers and losers, yeah. Should we invade Venezuela? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It should all be released at the same time, all at once. I disagree with some of what this guy says, but at least he's openly doing it. I mean, what am I saying that's incorrect? The shit needs to be released. That's all there is to it. Scoozy, thank you so much for the $4.99, dude. Appreciate you. I don't think that the United States, that's really, I mean, Scoozy, to be honest with you, what you would do is you could fund some kind of like rebellion against the current administration. That's what you could do. But again, that's not really our business, you know? That's not really our business, you know? Again, that's still somewhat the same. I mean, you're not going to be able to do it without some kind of violence. I think the United States is hoping Maduro just leaves, but I doubt that's going to happen. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it does. Horton, thank you so much. Why don't you call in Gates? This guy's name's the Gates of Hell will not prevail. This dude's a friggin' Christian Muppet and supports the Epstein files. That checks. Horton, thank you, says, I agree. I feel it's going to be redacted or a dud. I also feel Bongino left to distance himself. Accountability. 100% agree, Horton. 100% agree. So, guys, this guy just said, dude, you are slow and spelled you're wrong. This Dr. Magic guy said, dude, you're slow and spelled you're wrong. Dr. Magic, you're looking for YOU apostrophe RE, a contraction of two words, you are, separated by an apostrophe. We call it a contraction. You shouldn't really call people slow when you can't spell, right? You really shouldn't. And you should also call in so I can prove that you're a simpleton. It won't be difficult. I can promise you. Call in. I don't know why that one dude called and then just hung up. Jim says, what's happening? Life. Life is happening. What's happening is the Epstein files are supposed to be released tomorrow. And the Department of Justice is starting to make their excuses. They don't have clear guidance. All this nonsense. We saw that Ghislaine Maxwell filed a motion to overturn her conviction, which I think personally is going to interfere with the release tomorrow. But you also have other factors. Donald Trump ordered the DOJ to launch an investigation into perceived political opponents. That could have interfere with the investigation too. Or there could just be some deeper corruption we don't even know, you know.
Call from
it entirely depends.
Franklin John.
Yeah. Hi, Franklin. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know why you said your name in the phone like that. But what are your thoughts, Franklin? Go ahead.
I think that the president is supporting the economy and really.
How old are you, Franklin?
I'm 25.
Okay. But you're going to comment on the Epstein files are supposed to be released tomorrow. What's your comments on it?
Just specifically regarding the Epstein files,
yeah.
I think that it's an issue that the Democrats never really did anything with, and now they're publicizing it just because they want political leverage over Donald Trump. And that if Donald Trump really committed a serious crime, and it's in these Epstein files, then why wouldn't the Attorney General under Joe Biden release the files?
Because of the Ghislaine Maxwell appeal. By federal law, he couldn't have released the files. The president doesn't have the unilateral authority to do that. It's against the law.
Okay. I appreciate that perspective.
It's not a perspective. It's a fact. Okay? It's a fact.
Okay.
In case you don't know this, but the president really should work or should maintain independence from the Department of Justice and not interfere with like investigations or the legal process. You know, it's
right. I understand that part, but with something like the Epstein files, this situation has so much to do with our politicians, right? It's an issue that has to be handled sensitively.
I think what I want you to understand, do you think that there's been an organized conspiracy by the Trump administration to cover it up? Do you think it's concerning that Ghislaine Maxwell filed a motion in a federal court the day before the Epstein files are supposed to be released? Do you think that's at all weird, considering that could affect the release of the Epstein files?
I think it's weird, and the only reason why I didn't support the discharge petition that Representative Massey and Representative Khanna tried to push through the House of Representatives was because it does nothing to protect the innocent identities of people who came through to the Justice Department.
Are you talking about the Epstein Transparency Act?
Yes, sir.
No, it specifically protects victims' privacy. You're incorrect. You have not read the bill.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You're
It
wrong.
requires the Justice Department.
You're completely wrong. The Department of Justice, yes, is the National Security Division. Yes, it does protect victims' privacy. The victims,
and furthermore,
it's targeted towards protecting victims' privacy and limiting redactions of people who engaged in criminal conduct or unethical behavior, by only allowing those redactions for a limited time pertaining to ongoing investigations or appeals, things like that.
And furthermore, the bill doesn't protect specific Justice Department and FBI tactics, which are generally not available. They're not public.
Give me a break. You're not worried about FBI tactics in a human trafficking, rape, sexual abuse case. What do you mean FBI? Give me an example. What FBI tactics? Give me an example. Give me an example.
Like things that we thankfully don't know as members of the public now.
So what? Give me an idea of what tactics they used. Do you know how they caught Epstein?
No.
Victims went to the police. That's what happened.
Right.
Okay. So there's no specialized tactics the FBI needs to conceal in this case. You sound like you work for the government.
That are going to be given out to the public through this reckless Epstein files discharge, Epstein files Transparency Act, and this is the resources that the FBI has that protects our future to other cases like human trafficking, you name it.
Okay, so tell me, give me an example. Like, just explain. Give me a tactic.
We don't know.
Guy, you
we don't
are
know
so...
these tactics for a good reason.
Do you really expect me to believe that? Do you really expect me to believe
tomorrow we'll know
you
these
didn't
tactics
support the
because
discharge?
Of this bill,
you didn't.
We'll
you
know
didn't.
The tactics tomorrow.
First of all, you have not read the bill. That's number one.
I have.
No, you haven't. You clearly would know then it specifically allows for redactions related to victims' privacy. So you're wrong. The bill was very carefully crafted to protect victims' privacy, but not allow redactions of relevant information. Like if Donald Trump says, well, I want this redacted or that redacted, that can't happen, right? There needs to be a legitimate justification for redactions, like an ongoing investigation, like an appeal, like what was happening under the Biden administration. You can't just redact information because you feel like it. They made sure to carefully craft it. You claiming that the FBI wants to you want to make sure the FBI conceals their tactics to catch people who engage in this category of crime is insane. Is a crazy take.
To your argument that this bill was drafted appropriately, the section of the bill, which I have read, HR 4405,
your Google doesn't matter. You clearly don't know.
That stops child sexual abuse material from being released, like clips that are inappropriate for people to see, the general public to see. That statute under U.S. code is
that's already against federal law.
is cited incorrectly in
The
the
Epstein,
legislation.
again,
going back to the
I don't know what
prerequisite
you don't know, but the
of the
bill
draft
specifically
is-
states withholding or redacting any information that could identify victims or invade their personal privacy. But the law prohibits the release of personally identifiable information, medical files, or any materials depicting child sexual abuse. You conveniently left out personally identifiable information and victims' personal medical files, didn't you? And then the Attorney General, right, must justify any redactions and then report to Congress what information was withheld and why. But that's to ensure the victims' names, right, and any sensitive details are not made public. That's why that's written that way.
Okay, thank you for your time
It's
today.
just trying to demand broad transparency. Your excuse that you want to make sure FBI tactics aren't exposed so they can catch more human traffickers is the lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life. The lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life. I'm just telling you, it's the lamest excuse ever. It really is. Victor,
I
shut
stand by
up.
that,
You
but-
can see my face all over my channel, dummy. Shut the fuck up, Victor. All right? So that's a lame excuse.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Next time, read the bill where you come up and try and correct me. Have a good day. That guy's excuse was, yeah, I was really sad to see someone in chat say something about being, there's nothing wrong with being gay. Why are you shaming people for being gay in the chat? What's wrong with being gay? There's nothing wrong with being gay. What a weird thing to say. Do you believe presidents should be bound by the same laws as ordinary citizens? And if not, why should anyone trust that power won't be abused? Well, the president has immunity for any official presidential acts, but if the president wants to commit murder, for instance, he would be held accountable like a citizen. This person writes, who are you have the question to ask all this? Are you have a tremendous that what you think? Yeah, I'm not, I don't know what that means. Sorry. You'll have to try again. He's just making a lame excuse. He's just trying to make a lame excuse. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make a lame excuse. That's it. If you're a Trump supporter, call in. Quit crying. Come make your case. Are you not embarrassed? Or are you embarrassed to support Trump? Is that what it is? We are on the eve of the release of the Epstein files. The eve of the release. This is a big day for the country tomorrow. Because if these don't get released, there's going to be a big problem. A lot of people are going to be pissed. The Epstein Transparency Act was passed. It gave the Department of Justice 30 days to release those files. 30 days. Yes. Are you a Trump supporter? Hello? Are you going to speak? 617. Oh, my God. Why do people call in and then, like, listen and then hang up? I don't get it. All right, let's go with Mr. Joe here. Says, I'll bet you're not. You probably didn't even pay attention. What are you talking about?
Call from
Ilya.
Yes. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead. Let's hear your take on this.
What do you have on my take? On what?
Are you watching the live or are you just scrolling and calling a number because you're bored?
No, I'm wondering if you changed up the subject already. You just keep saying the same shit over and over again.
Yeah. I've been live for 40 minutes where the Epstein files are getting released tomorrow. Did you know that? What subject do you want to talk about?
To get that released.
What subject do you want to talk about, clown?
Well, you're talking about the Epstein files, correct?
Yes, that's what I was talking about. What subject would you like to talk about?
Wasn't Trump the one that signed the executive order to release them, and then the Democrats finally moved forward on trying to pass a vote on it?
That wasn't an executive
order. That's exactly what happened.
That's not what happened, you dummy. The Epstein Transparency Act was passed through Congress with a supermajority. The president signed the bill.
Well, they never wanted to release it until Trump pushed forward on it.
It's the complete opposite. Could you be more misinformed?
What about this question right here? How about this? You had 4 years and you were trying to put Trump away forever. Why did you guys not release the files whenever you had him in court and everything like that?
So the file, so that's not relevant to those criminal. Do you want me to answer or no?
Or whatever.
Do you want me to answer or no? Do you want me to answer or no? Okay, cool. So it's very. So somebody asked why even talk to these idiots. This is why. Look how misinformed this guy is. The public needs this information. It's important. See how willfully ignorant this guy is? He just said Trump was trying to force the release of the Epstein files, and Democrats finally let it happen.
Yeah, he did.
Can you tell me why Donald Trump tried to convince Republicans not to sign on? Watch, I'm going to prove you wrong right now. Can you tell me why Donald Trump tried to convince Republicans not to sign on to the very discharge petition for the Epstein files that we're talking about?
Because he didn't want to put all the Democrats that were in office right now under fire. Weren't they talking to Epstein the whole time while he was alive?
Wait, he didn't. So your take is
weren't they talking in Congress?
Guy, listen. If you talk over me, I'll just kick you. Everyone already knows you're stupid, so you can listen or I'll kick you. Right? It's that.
Well, I'm just blasting you with facts, and you can't handle it.
I know
you're telling me to shut up.
You're blasting me with facts. You don't know what you're talking about. So Donald Trump tried to convince Republicans. Is your take he was trying to protect Democrats? Can you tell me why Donald Trump sent his deputy attorney general to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell prior to her testimony in front of the Oversight Committee?
Who gives a shit about Ghislaine Maxwell?
We're talking about the files getting released, right? Ghislaine Maxwell's relevant to the files.
Talking about the files getting released, right?
Oh, my God.
What about that picture you guys recently released with all the images trying to protect the identities?
Such surface-level knowledge.
All over 18.
Such surface-level knowledge on these guys. Such surface-level knowledge. So the Oversight Committee has been releasing...
We're taking our words and stuff like
that.
Can
you shut up?
We're the ones
Can you shut up?
Retarded.
Can you stop talking? Can you stop talking? You're not very bright, so you should probably do more listening. Had you done it in school, we probably wouldn't be here today. Okay?
Right.
We're here because you don't do much listening, I can tell. Okay? Donald Trump signed the Epstein Transparency Act because the bill was veto-proof. Do you know what a veto-proof bill is? It passed the House with one nay vote and unanimous consent in the Senate. He didn't have a choice but to sign it. That's not an executive order, which is what
down during that time?
Can you stop talking? You said an executive order. It's not an executive order. Can you tell me what does it mean? What does it mean when a bill is veto proof?
You cut out. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I cut out right when I ask you a question. What does it mean when a bill is veto proof?
Literally cut out while you were talking.
What does it mean when a bill is veto proof?
First of all, I'm not even talking about that. We're talking about Epstein files.
You're done.
Correct?
Don't call anymore. And you can't use slurs. So this guy thought it was an executive order. It was a bill. Do we need to play the little song for you? I'm just a bill. This was legislation passed by Congress. It was not an executive order. The president signed it because he had no choice. There was only one nay vote in the House. It passed with unanimous consent in the Senate. If the president refused to sign it, they can override the veto. See, this is why it's so important that these conversations happen. Not for the sake of the person calling in, but for the people listening. These people don't have the information to even make an accurate decision. How can we expect people to make the right decision if they don't have the information? Yeah, you can override a veto, you absolute chud. You should probably take civics class again. It's so the fact that so many people don't know fucking 8th grade civics is painful. He has no choice. He had no choice. Absolutely no choice. I don't know what take is worse. The guy that said we shouldn't release it because we should protect FBI tactics, or the guy that thinks it was an executive order and Trump got it through against the Democrats' request to stall it. What? What in the world is happening? Holy moly. Somebody in chat said, how does his ear heal so fast? I don't know. I don't know. This is a really good comment from Mama Mickey. Says, the arrogance in their ignorance kills me. That is a great comment. Mama Mickey, the arrogance in their ignorance kills me. Seriously. Oh, God. It's painful. The guy who said Trump is protecting the Democrats takes the cake. Yeah. The guy who literally said they're his enemy, that guy? Holy moly. Listen, tomorrow's going to be a busy day, folks. No matter which way it goes, it's going to be a busy day. Tomorrow is going to be absolute mayhem, potentially. You people are nuts, dude. You don't even know what a veto-proof bill is. How would you know if we're nuts? You don't even know what a veto-proof bill is. Like, you shouldn't even be listening to these conversations. The phone isn't busy. You should be able to call in, no problem. That's why people are calling in. Call in. You can call in. He's America first, Zachary. Is he America first, really? Why is he talking about wanting to topple the Maduro regime if he's America first? What business of that is ours? Oh, I know. Never mind. No, you have to remember when he says land and oil rights back, he's talking about the Venezuelan government stealing those assets from the United States under Chavez. Well, first in the 1970s and again in 2007. So he's saying these oil fields and land, need to be returned to the United States. But it's really just a claim to try and create more pressure on Venezuela. They're hoping Maduro just runs. That's what they're hoping. Yeah, I'm taking calls. I just had a guy call in. Guy call in. Apparently there was a TikTok deal made. Let me break this news. Breaking news. TikTok has signed the deal to sell its U.S. entity to an American investor group. TikTok has signed the deal backed by President Trump to sell its U.S. assets to a group of American investors. The CEO, Chu, told employees in a memo Thursday. Although the transaction is not yet complete, the move brings TikTok one step closer to securing its long-term future in the United States. Let me pick this up first. Yes,
2020.
Yeah, hold on one second, okay? I have to finish this. So it comes a year. So the transaction is not complete. The move brings TikTok one step closer, though. So it's almost complete, the TikTok deal. So TikTok's going to turn into a shit show. I didn't hear what this guy said, but I imagine it's something stupid. That's what you called in for? Well, that's profound. What? That guy's name's John. What? Guy, your name is John Gotti. Do you have like an obsession with like naming yourself after men who don't know you? Is it because yours holds no weight? TikTok's going to be a fucking U.S. censored shit show like Facebook, like Instagram. It's going to be like that. That's what it's going to be. Yes, that is a grown man. A grown man calling in and doing that, yes. Crazy. Let me just look this up really quick. I just want to see if there's any more news on this because that was such a short article. Axios has something here too. What's going on? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm not.
Okay, hold on one second. TikTok has signed a deal to divest its U.S. entity to a joint venture controlled by American investors. Oracle. So here it is. The agreement is set to close on January 22nd. Oracle, Silver Lake. Nearly 1/3 of the company will be held by affiliates of existing ByteDance investors, and nearly 20% will be retained by ByteDance. So ByteDance is retaining a decent amount of the company. The U.S. joint venture will be responsible for U.S. data protection, algorithm security, content moderation, software assurance per the memo. I just want to tell everyone here, the stuff with the algorithm is going to make the biggest change to TikTok. When you guys used to see things from around the world, they're going to change the algorithm. It's going to be very U.S. focused content. Their algorithm is not nearly as advanced as ByteDance's algorithm, TikTok's algorithm that they have now. I mean, I'm being honest with you. I really think TikTok could die in just a couple years as a result of a much less advanced algorithm. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say, like I appreciate your content and, all the people that put up in your chat, MAGA, TDS, from 2028. They're not patriots. They're traitors to this country.
Yes, they are. It's sad, isn't it?
And it's sad to see our country fall like this. And I'm an American first. Politics set aside. I'm right in the middle. And appreciate your content, man.
Appreciate
Keep
it,
it
buddy.
real.
Take care, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. People in the chat that do this stuff, they're just not. They're not. Definitely not patriots. That's for damn sure, dude. Does this affect TikTok internationally? Like if someone has a TikTok in the EU? So what do you mean by that? You mean, will you be connected? Yeah, they're just going to use a different algorithm. They're going to use a different algorithm. The algorithm's not going to be nearly as advanced. So it doesn't mean that you can't watch TikToks from another country, but it's just not going to have the same technology, right? And now they have come out and said that they have an algorithm ready to replace the existing algorithm. I do not believe it will be anywhere near as advanced as the current algorithm because the current algorithm is insane. Absolutely insane. That's why China didn't want to release the IP. Because it's that advanced. What's going on? Are you a Trump supporter? What's up? Are you a Trump supporter? Hello, I can hear you moving. Are you going to talk? Wenchy, thank you for the, what is that, $10 Norwegian. Thank you, Wenchy. Appreciate it. Are you going to talk, dude? Okay, this person just called in and didn't speak. I don't know what they're doing, but Wenchy, thank you so much. MAGA's going to think that's $100 and they're going to start getting triggered in the chat. It's going to be boring. That's right, Darrell. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's the best way to describe it. It's just going to be boring. Who cares about TikTok anyway? I care about TikTok. I have a pretty decent sized platform on TikTok. So I definitely care, but there's nothing you can do. So what am I going to do? I'm trying to build other platforms and stuff. My Instagram's starting to take off. I'm trying to build YouTube the way I built TikTok, and there's nothing you can do. It is what it is. I don't know how you accidentally call me, but this guy said the latest poll I heard had Democrats' approval south of 20%. Have you seen Donald Trump's approval rating? Favorability rating? I wouldn't be talking about approval ratings right now if I was a Trump supporter. Zachary here says, regardless of your party, everyone has the right to believe whatever in politics they are in and politely agree to disagree. So, Zachary, that would be the case if we weren't dealing with fascism. I don't believe people have the right to believe in fascist ideology. I think if your political ideology interferes in any way with our democracy or our constitution, right, and you work with your ideology to dismantle those principles, that you shouldn't have a right to be in elected politics. Can you believe it? Sure, you can believe it. But this guy's in the White House. We're not talking about like, hey, this person is a fascist and they just believe in fascism. Sure, they have the right to do it. Makes you a scummy person, but they have the right, technically, according to the Constitution, to do it. But once you get elected and you work to dismantle these democratic principles and people's constitutional rights, then that changes the conversation completely. Call in. Why do they complain and not call in? Just call in. Call in and tell me what you disagree with. 908-652-3703. The funniest thing about Trump supporters is they never really have a legitimate argument outside of whataboutism. Whataboutism is their go-to on everything. What about when Hunter Biden? I had the Trump supporters all day today, including on this live, bring up Hunter Biden when we're talking about the Epstein files, who's not in elected politics and never has been. I mean, imagine that. Imagine it. Democrats hate fascists. Who says Democrats are fascist? Somebody up there? No, TikTok has ads, but they do things in different ways. Like they charge, they definitely take a larger cut from creators. So I've been a part of their creator program and their live creator program for years now. They take, decent amount. But you love deadhead Joe Biden. What do you mean loved? I don't love politicians, Spider. We don't love politicians around here. As a matter of fact, we mostly don't trust them. Did I vote for Joe Biden? Yeah, I was a supporter of Joe Biden's presidency in opposition to Donald Trump. I think Joe Biden accomplished some good things. I think he did a reasonably good job. But he wasn't a fascist, and he didn't attempt to dismantle democracy, and he didn't lead negotiations asleep in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Trump's foreign policy has been a fucking disaster. An absolute fucking disaster. He didn't try and overthrow our government. He wasn't criminally indicted 4 times. He's not a civilly liable sexual abuser. He's not a civilly liable fraudster. Not a convicted felon. This guy says, that's okay, Adam Cry. You can skip my comment. You know I'm right. I didn't see your comment, dude. So TikTok probably hid your comment. You probably said something inappropriate. That's what I would gather. Yeah, they stay and watch even though they're really mad. In the middle means I'm for human rights. Children not being John school, not going to death from healthcare, not eating other cultures. This is worldwide, not USA. Well, listen, I'm definitely not in the middle. I'm on the left. Maximo says the victimhood is strong with this dude. What a dramatic clown with TDS. TDS is when you wear Trump gear. Why don't you call in? I'll tell you what TDS is, Muppet. Why don't you call in real quick and I'll tell you what TDS is. TDS is when you wear dumb red hats and Make America Great Again shirts. Make America Great Again. It's when you don't know the three branches of government. Okay? That's what TDS is. TDS is when you go to Trump rallies and you collect his coins. That's what TDS
Call
is.
from.
Are you a Trump supporter? Why do these fucking guys keep calling in and hanging up? Like, what the fuck is going on today? It's like they're calling in like they're calling their crush, and then they're hanging up as soon as I pick up. No, I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all. You just have TDS. You guys have Trump derangement syndrome. You love Trump. And you have Trump derangement syndrome. It's okay, guys. You have Trump derangement syndrome. That's what you guys have. You are in love with a politician who wouldn't let you sleep on his doormat. That's Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. The next federal election is the next election, right? Don't worry. Don't you worry about those fucking midterms, okay? Don't you worry about it at all. Just worry about the next federal election. Jesus. What's the same guy from before? Jen. Same guy from before? What are you talking about? Adam, speaking of midterms, I have some information I want to send you.
Call from.
You can send it to me on Instagram. Are you a Trump supporter, dude?
No, I'm not MEGA. America first.
All right. Did you vote for Trump?
No.
Okay. Well, what's up? If you didn't vote for Trump, what's up?
I just wanted to say you sound vaccinated and you sound like
who'd you vote for?
So I don't know why I should listen to you.
Who'd you vote for?
I don't vote.
Oh, you don't
vote?
vote?
I'm not an
guess
idiot.
what? Guess what that means? It means you're fucking useless. That's what it means. I don't vote. I'm America first. I don't participate in our constitutional republic, though. I don't participate. Genevieve, is that a picture of you? You're a little old to be acting like a child in the chat, spamming a YouTube chat. You should grow up. You're an older woman. I think it requires a little more maturity. Guy doesn't even vote. Useless. I don't waste my time with people who don't vote. That's just one of those guys that we should have encouraged the, yeah. John, you're a clown. Okay? You're an absolute fucking clown. Call in right now. 908-652-3703. Stop crying. Just call in and stop crying. Trump 2028. Yeah. The 22nd Amendment begs to differ. Also, it's a painting. What's a painting? You sound vaccinated? Yeah, that's their lame ass rebuttal. The guy doesn't even vote. I mean, why are we even addressing him? I can't support anyone in the Democrat Party. Well, that's unfortunate for you. That's unfortunate for you. Can you call in and tell me why? And we'll explain. Stop talking about diapers when you support Trump, okay? You're not a Trump supporter. I wear my red Trump hat with pride. All right, Scooter, I really want to talk to you, Scooter. I really want to talk to Scooter bad. I really want to. Scooter's been the loudest person in this fucking chat. Scooter, why don't you come up and call and stop talking shit? Just call. Let's talk. I just put the phone back on. Call in, Coot. Come on, buddy. I accidentally called him Cooter. Scooter, can you call in, please, Scooter? Scooter going once. Yeah, I just turned the phone back on. It absolutely is working. Try again. There you go. Oh, he's calling from an unknown.
Call
say.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, are you there?
Call from
Robert.
Robert, what's going on? I'm going to go with you because this other guy's calling from an unknown number. So, are you a Trump supporter, Robert?
I am.
Okay. And why are you a Trump supporter, darling?
Well, I'm not going to insult you. Don't insult me.
I didn't insult. I said darling. That's a term of endearment.
But I don't know any man that calls another man darling.
Well, it's a term of endearment, sir. It's a term of endearment.
Maybe to a woman, but not to a man.
It's a term of endearment. You don't call your children darling? Go ahead.
They're my children. I'm just a man to you. That's all I am.
Okay, man. So, go ahead, man. I was trying to give you a term of endearment, but okay.
All right. So, what do you want to know? Why I'm a Trump supporter? Like what?
Today I've been talking about the Epstein files because the Epstein files are getting released tomorrow. But if you'd like to give me, that's one of the reasons I think you should stop supporting Trump, among many others. You can talk about the presidential address last night. He lied constantly. We can talk about Venezuela if you'd like. I mean, whatever.
Well, we can talk about the Epstein files, and that's really easy to clear up.
Go ahead.
If I find out factually that Trump has anything to do with young underage girls, I will no longer support Trump.
Okay. So can I just tell you really quick something? Do you know Trump's made inappropriate comments to children before and said inappropriate things?
You know, that's kind of hearsay by now. I mean, Trump's made so many crazy comments. Who can keep up with them all? But making a crazy comment to a child, it's not illegal.
Okay, whether or not... Well, actually, it can be legal in certain circumstances.
It's threatening.
But can I also say Donald Trump told a 10-year-old girl, I'll be dating her in 10 years. He also admitted it to walking into...
But that's not illegal.
Okay, but it's...
That's the problem. That is not...
It's creepy.
It might be disgusting. It might be disgusting.
Why does it have to be illegal?
But it's not
I don't get it. Why do you care about it being illegal? What does that matter?
Because all of our laws are what's going to bring him down if he did anything illegal. It's got to be illegal.
Okay.
People say stuff. Do you realize what people say online every day? It's
disgusting. But all I'm saying is, once that comes out, and he had something to do with young girls, I will no longer support Trump. But until then, I don't have any evidence. I have to see evidence. I'm one of those people. I want to see the hard evidence in your face. Here it is. He's guilty.
Okay. Well, let me just say one more thing here. So you also know that he's admitted to walking into the dressing rooms of beauty pageant contestants, including underage girls, when he owned the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pageants. Multiple women, including former contestants of those pageants, have said that Trump would enter these rooms unannounced while the girls were changing, sometimes with as young as 15-year-old girls present. Trump has bragged about it. It's not up for him. He said it himself. Said he was allowed to do so because he was the owner and would inspect the pageant, and that he sort of gets away with things like that. Well, we could. These incidents could be considered. These incidents could be considered illegal, since your standard is, and they must be illegal in order for you to condemn them.
Right. Yes. But you do realize most pageants that Trump owned or was at, they were adult pageants. So they're all over, including the picture. Remember the picture that they did a couple of days ago? They blocked out all the girls' faces. The picture was taken in like 1993. All of those contestants were over 18. The only reason why they blocked it out is because it makes them look like they're underage.
So
that's what they did.
Charcity, thank you so much, and Keycat, thank you so much as well. Let me just clear something up. They were not adults in those pageants, okay? First of all,
yes, they were. That picture was proven, and it was taken in 1993.
In the picture.
For one of his pageants.
So first of all, in the picture that he took.
The picture.
Okay, can I please explain? First of all, the picture is not related to what I just said. The picture, I have no idea if they were or not. The oversight committee subpoenaed the estate and then got these pictures. They blur out the faces of everyone. They just released photos today. One of them is Bill Gates and some unidentified woman, clearly an adult. They blurred that out. Do you know why they blurred it out?
That's not why they did it.
They do. They did. They absolutely do.
That picture's been on the internet since the internet has begun. So
say that again?
Is not why they did it.
Say that again.
That picture, you can easily go look up. That picture has been on the internet since the internet has begun. Because it was taken in like 1993.
Okay, but the point is they black out everyone's faces. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. But the point is this. I'm trying to explain.
There was no reason to block it out.
Can I please finish? It's not
already
relevant.
On the internet with all the girls'
Donald
faces
Trump
on it.
owned the Miss Teen USA pageants. Multiple women, including former contestants that are teenagers, have said Donald Trump would enter these rooms unannounced while the girls were changing. Sometimes with as young as 15 years old.
And in a court of law, that would be hearsay. Unless they had any evidence.
So if a 15-year-old girl said that Donald Trump would enter the locker rooms of Miss Teen USA pageants, you wouldn't believe her?
I'm not saying I don't believe that.
Okay, well, Donald Trump himself.
I'm not saying I don't
Donald
believe
Trump
that.
himself maybe
But
didn't. Donald Trump himself has said that he would inspect the pageant, right? And that he sort of gets away with things like that. He said he would walk. He admitted he walked in locker rooms.
Yeah, but he never said underage girls.
So
There's
wait,
a
if
big
he says
difference from what you're saying.
So let's put together these facts real quick. Hold on, let's put together these facts real quick.
I'll let you finish.
He said he owns Miss Teen USA. He says he used to walk in locker rooms, and a 15-year-old girl says that's true, and I was there when he did it. And you're saying that that's not true?
That's the whole point. Do you know? I don't know.
I don't need.
And if I don't know, you don't know.
Well, I can say that
you don't know.
You have an unreasonably high standard burden of proof when it comes to Trump. Okay, he ran. That's the other guy. Go ahead.
On both sides. I want proof on both sides. The Democrats put so much stuff out, and the Republicans put so much stuff out, that until something comes concrete and proven to everyone that this is the way it happened, it's all hearsay. Most of politics is hearsay.
Can I ask you a question? Why was there a concerted effort by Trump and the administration to conceal the Epstein files from the American people?
You know, I love talking about the Epstein files. I spend about 60 days out of the year in the Virgin Islands. So I have a lot of information on this. Okay?
So do I. I've been studying it extensively. I know a lot about it.
That's fine, but you don't talk like the Islanders talk, okay? So what I'm trying to say about that, you don't talk about like what
I
the
know about the
Islanders
case.
talk like.
I've read through the case. I know about the case. I like her motion today. Like, for instance, Ghislaine Maxwell just filed a motion today with a federal court to throw out her criminal conviction. Did you read the motion?
I did not.
I did. I read it all. So go ahead. Give me your take, but understand, I know about this case, so don't make anything up. Why was there a concerted effort to conceal this information from the American public?
See, but you come from a standpoint that you think I'm disagreeing with you, and I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Okay? I'll just give you this point. I don't think Trump is a great human being. I don't think he is a great human being. I think he's done bad things in his life. Okay? So don't think I'm just like this Mr. Kiss Trump's butt all the time, because I'm not. The reason why I vote for Trump is because he is doing better for every single American than I have seen. I'm an older man, than I have seen in the history of any president from Jimmy Carter till now, maybe Ronald Reagan. But I just see what he's doing, and I think even though he's probably not the perfect man in the world, I don't think any one of our presidents were perfect.
So we're not talking about whether or not someone is perfect, and you're right, because perfect doesn't exist, but we're talking about whether or not someone has engaged in either facilitating, financing, remaining friends with, whatever the case is, information beyond what he told the public about his relationship with Epstein. If there was an effort to conceal that information using,
I think he had a big relationship with Epstein.
So why is that enough? That not enough for you to stop supporting him? I don't get it.
Well, I think he had a big relationship with Epstein. Okay, I think they were friends. I think they talked to each other probably on a weekly basis. But that's where it stops. I don't have any evidence of him ever doing anything with underage girls. And until I do, I had a friend one time that I didn't know anything about, but he was a murderer. Well, guess what? Once I found out he was a murderer, we no longer spoke.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is I just provided you like information that involved eyewitness testimony, right? Trump's own words, right? And you said, oh, yeah, well, that's not proof that happened because he didn't directly admit to doing it with minors. Well, if a 15-year-old girl says something happened and then he says, yeah, I did used to walk in dressing rooms, I'm going to be inclined to believe the victim, right? I'm inclined to believe the victim anyway.
Do you know Trump's never been to the islands? Do you know that?
I don't. That information is not concrete for me, no. I don't know that, but I don't care. It's not. It doesn't have to go to the island. Abuse occurred all over, including in the United States,
Miami,
in New York City, all over, right? All over. So it doesn't. Right. It doesn't matter.
I agree with
where
all
it happened.
But he's never been to the island.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not expecting that there's going to be proof or pictures of Trump engaging in abuse. Okay, what I'm saying is, listen to me.
I'm a rational Trump supporter.
Yeah, you say that though, but you have an unreasonably high burden of proof. Do you know what I mean by that? It means that you're basically telling me you need to see proof, but you're saying you need to see proof beyond like a criminal burden of proof in this country beyond a reasonable doubt in order to stop supporting.
No.
So then if
people are innocent.
So what if it's
proven guilty?
Yeah, but we have a standard of proof. We have
Nope, we don't. We don't. You are 100% innocent until you are proven guilty.
Excuse me. Are you claiming we don't? Are you claiming we don't have a criminal burden of proof in this country? Like we don't have a beyond a reasonable doubt? That burden has to be established. You have to meet the burden of proof.
And that would be guilty.
Yes.
That would be guilty.
Right.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is,
in a court of law.
Can I please finish? What I'm saying is your standard is higher than what it is in a criminal courtroom. People get convicted on circumstantial evidence. You're claiming you need to
I
see
understand.
pictures of someone
But-
engaging in
but
a
when it gets
particular act in
convicted of
order
it-
to condemn that behavior.
I'm just a believer people are innocent till proven guilty. Just like this. Let me tell you. You know what's her name? The Omar, the senator?
Yeah, what about her?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
People are talking about that she stole money and from all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Well, guess what? To me, she's innocent. She's innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. Can you
So
just
I hold the same for both sides.
Can you just listen to what I'm saying? What I'm saying is you may not
go ahead.
see a picture that shows him directly engaging in abuse. Okay? Someone just put in quotes in the chat, standard of proof. Yes, the standard of proof in a criminal courtroom is beyond a reasonable doubt. Not sure why you put that in quotes and then a laughing emoji, you idiot. What a moron. He put it in quotes like that, like I said something wrong. Yes, the standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt, you clown. Now I'm going to hide your...
That's not me.
No, it was just some idiot in the chat thinks he's... I love pseudo-intellectuals that try and correct me. He said a standard of proof. Yeah, it is. It is the standard
Everyone
of proof
is an
in a criminal
individual.
court. So the prosecution
Everyone is
must
an
prevent
individual.
evidence so strong that there is no reasonable doubt about the defendant's guilt. This guy's standard of proof is higher than beyond a reasonable doubt. He won't believe Trump engaged in something unless he sees a picture of it. And I'm just saying that's unreasonably high. If I hear,
Well, let me ask you this.
If you heard,
And come on, let's see
if
if
there's
you're right.
information in the files that Donald Trump knew about Jeffrey Epstein's conduct and didn't stop supporting him, what would you do?
So let me ask you a question. You know, and let me see if you're rational. And just think about this. Really think about this, because this is important.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I don't think that they're going to find anything on Trump is this reason and this reason only. When Biden was president for 4 years, if they would have found one thing in those Epstein files, it would have been out already. And that's why I think you're not going to find nothing in the Epstein files, because you can just be rational with me. For 4 years, they had everything. And if they would have found one iota of something on Trump with the Epstein files, it had came out already. No doubt in my mind.
So can I ask you a question? Why was there a concerted effort to conceal it from the American public?
You know what? Those are the questions that I have just the same as you. Why would you conceal this? You know? I mean,
yeah, I
think
wonder
about
why.
this. But hold on. Think about this. We know, because of the flight logs, that Clinton's been there 28 times to the island.
What's the relevance to what we're talking about?
Wait. Hold on. Let me get to that point. So you remember when Trump went against Hillary and Trump was so mean to her and stuff? You remember the debates and stuff? You'd be in jail, stuff like that. Remember?
Yes.
Don't you remember after Trump became president, at all that stuff, Trump never went after Hillary. Never. Not one time. Because
no, he tried.
Hold on.
He
didn't.
Yes, he did.
Come on. Just be rational. Because here's the thing. Trump and Hillary and Bill Clinton, they are friends. I know the public doesn't think they're friends, but they were really good friends.
Not anymore.
At one time.
So
no, maybe not. But he didn't go after him like he could have. You know, he didn't. He didn't do any of that. And so I think for the last 4 years when Biden was in there, I really believe that I really thought something's going to come out on Trump about the Epstein. It never did. Because
can I just clear something up really quick? Donald Trump did try and go after Hillary Clinton. He literally tried to get the Department of Justice to investigate her and prosecute her over the email server and the Clinton Foundation, right?
No, that was over the Steele dossier.
Then why excuse me. After he got elected, did he try and go after her? Did he tell Jeff Sessions to reverse his recusal?
And maybe, you know what? I
Did
don't
he
know
say
much.
to
I don't
launch
like to
new
talk on things.
investigations?
Hold
Did
on.
he
I don't
pressure
like
the
to talk on
DOJ to
things I don't
pursue
know
those
much about.
cases?
I don't know much about that.
Yeah, he did all of
But
those things. He made direct listen, dude, you can learn if you listen. Trump tried to tell the DOJ to do it. He said this publicly. It wasn't even in private. He demanded investigations.
Okay, but you know what? Whatever came out of them.
That's besides the point. You said he didn't try and go after her. He did. Like you're saying something that happened.
It would have been much bigger stories if he did try to go after her.
He did try and go after her. It was a big story. Laura, thank you for the 1999 super chat. Happy holidays, Laura. Don't say happy holidays. You're going to piss off MAGA. They'll be like, see, you're trying to tell us not to say Merry Christmas again. They were trying to go after her.
I think you can say whatever you want.
He literally asked Attorney General Sessions to reverse his recusal and launch new investigations.
But as far as happy holidays,
told
I think
the
people
DOJ
can say whatever they want.
Listen, I guess you don't want to listen to what he did to Hillary. I guess you're not interested. But that's not relevant.
He didn't do anything to Hillary.
He tried. You said he didn't try and go after her. He did try and go after her. He failed. That doesn't mean he didn't try. Number two, can you please explain to me how or why there was a concerted effort to conceal that information from the public, right? Should he be removed? Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, why they didn't come out with any of the files?
Yeah, why did Trump try and interfere with the Oversight Committee's investigation? What the Oversight Committee's alleging right now?
I think it's because not only Trump, but the former administration kept it hidden because of all of the big deal people that are involved with Epstein.
So he's protecting other pedos then?
Oh, I definitely believe that all the way from Obama to the last term of Trump, they all kept quiet about the Epstein.
So then you're still supporting him even though you're conceding to the point that he may have...
I don't think you understand. I think they hid it all. I think they hid it all, and I think it's wrong that they hid it all from the public because
who's they?
Whoever else was over there.
Who are you talking about when you say they? Trump's the only one. The Trump administration's the only administration that has made an effort to conceal it.
What are you talking about? They had 4 years of Biden. They could have done it then.
No, they couldn't.
Why didn't they do it then?
Because the Ghislaine Maxwell appeal prohibits them by federal law from doing it. Number two, as the president, you're really supposed to maintain.
You're crazy.
Do you know the president's?
You're crazy.
Okay, first of all, can I be clear about something?
That's
Hold on, excuse me,
talk.
sir. Do you think the president?
4 years. 4 years.
Can I ask you a question?
They had every chance to get those files out.
Okay, I guess he's not interested in listening to me.
You're just.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think the president has unilateral authority to release those files? Yes or no?
If it's not in the courts, going through the motions that the courts go through, then yeah.
Wait, but it was. There was the Ghislaine Maxwell appeal.
For 4 years?
Yes.
I thought that was over in like a year.
Nope, it didn't expire until like 2 months before
So you're telling me from the first day Biden got in to the last day Biden got in, it was in
It
the
was
court?
ongoing. It didn't expire. It did not expire until 2024, towards the end of Biden's presidency.
You don't think none of them? You don't think nobody in the Biden administration went through those files to see if Trump was involved in anything? I mean, come on,
they were sealed by a court. They were sealed by the court.
No, they wouldn't do that. No way.
You can think I'm wrong, but you can just look this stuff up. Number
I
two,
know
you
you're
do
wrong.
realize the president. No,
I know you're wrong.
I'm not wrong, dude. I'm not
If
wrong.
there was any shred of making Trump guilty, any shred, it would have come out already.
You can think that, but it doesn't matter. You're wrong.
It would have came out already. Nothing in my mind. Look, when they do come out and you don't get the evidence that you want, are you going to come on your show and say that I was wrong, there's nothing on Trump?
No, I didn't allege there is. I said that there's something in there. He's in the files. We know that. There's going to be stuff on him. I didn't allege what it's going to be.
Of course he's in
Stop
the files.
talking and let me finish. You said let you finish. Let me finish talking. I have not alleged to what. Stop talking. I have not alleged to what extent he had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. But what I said was it's clearly beyond what he has previously disclosed publicly. Otherwise, why would there be a concerted effort to conceal it? Number two, we know he's in the files because Pam Bondi told him he's in the files. By the way, Susie Wiles just admitted there's stuff in the files. She said it was nothing awful, but that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were two single playboys. I mean, that's a pretty disturbing statement when we're talking about the world's most infamous pedophile. But the Biden administration didn't release all of the Epstein files because Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal was still ongoing. This is
for 4 years. I'm going to look that up.
You can look it up. They have a practice of withholding the release of certain documents if documents can impact active legal proceedings. Everyone knows about this, dude. That includes appeals and ongoing investigations.
Well, we're going to find out
it's
if everybody
the same
knows
with
about
the
that,
Epstein.
that's
Even
hard
let me
to
explain
believe
something.
for 4 years.
Yeah,
find that hard to believe.
Yeah, it didn't expire. The Supreme Court finally rejected her appeal in October, so that removed the legal barrier for this administration.
We'll see.
Now let me explain. Go ahead, look it up. Let's look it up right now.
I'm not going to pretend I know. But I will look it up.
Okay, good. Look it up.
Because I like evidence.
Are you looking it up?
No, I'm not looking it up. I'm talking to you.
Why not?
Because I'm going to look it up.
Why don't you look it up now?
To research it.
Why don't you look it up now? What you're going to find out is that the Court of Appeals, right, for the Second Circuit upheld her conviction in September 2024, and the Supreme Court ultimately rejected her appeal in October of this year.
Okay, we'll see.
So that would have prohibited the release of the Epstein files. Now, furthermore,
yeah, but you're missing the first year that Biden was in office, aren't you?
No. I'm not missing the first year Biden was in office. When was Ghislaine Maxwell?
You don't think nobody in the Biden administration been through them files?
No. Do you? Okay, so you brought this up before. Let me. You said Biden administration's been through the files. Let's just talk about this. I know because Trump is the president, right? And he does things with the Department of Justice, like sends his former personal attorney, the Deputy Attorney General, to interfere with an oversight committee investigation. You think it's normal for the president to have this kind of relationship with the Department of Justice? Do you think they're supposed to maintain independence or no from the Department of Justice, the president? Like previous presidents? You realize the president's not supposed to go to the Department of Justice and be like, I want to look through the files. That's not a thing. It's not supposed to be a thing.
Yep, I do realize
Secondly,
that.
these files were sealed by the court.
Mm-hmm.
Sealed by the court.
Okay.
So what I'm asking you now is, right, when Ghislaine Maxwell was going to be subpoenaed by the Oversight Committee, do you know who Todd Blanche is?
No.
Todd Blanche is Donald Trump's former personal attorney. He just defended him in his criminal cases. You know, Donald Trump's a convicted felon. His attorney in that case, his lead defense attorney, was Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche became the Deputy Attorney General of the United States under Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General.
Okay.
When Donald Trump said the Epstein files were a hoax, stopped talking about it, and was instructing people in the White House to stop answering questions about it, he sent his Deputy Attorney General.
See, and
hold on, stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. And he said it was a hoax.
That's the very point I think.
When he was, let me finish. When he said it was a hoax, the Oversight Committee, right? The Oversight Committee said this guy ran. He ran, guys. He ran. I knew he was going to run. I fucking knew it. That's why he was interrupting. He's scared. He doesn't want to answer the question. You scaredy cat. You scaredy cat. Oh my God, this dude. At least sit and take the cooking. Don't run like that. He wouldn't have been able to answer the question. That's why he ran. Did you see him trying to last ditch say, well, that's the part that I didn't support. That's the part that I didn't support. No, I didn't hang up on him. Why isn't he calling right back in then? I love how Trump supporters say, you hung up on him. He ran. Why don't you call in and pick up for him right now? 908-652-3703. I dare you. Dare you. I love when Trump supporters get fucking cooked and all the Trump supporters cry about it. I don't pick up unknown numbers. Call from your real number. We've had too many people slur. Devoy in chat with the little weird PFP there. Kind of creepy. You keep saying, you keep talking shit in the chat. Can you shut up? Like that would be your best bet, okay? We're just going to silence you for 24 hours. You're not allowed to speak. You're starting to creep me out. Please stop. Stop creeping me out, okay? That would be your best bet to stay unmuted. Yeah, I don't take in unknown numbers, buddy. That's what people do when they call and they slur, right? You have to call. Don't block your number. That's what people do when they're going to say something fucked up. You think I was born yesterday? If you're not going to say anything fucked up, you have nothing to worry about. We don't cry. Show me a video. I have liberals cry all the time. Call in now, Troy. Let me hear you. I bet you cry. The question for Trump supporters is this, okay? And the same question I was going to ask him, which none of you will be able to answer. When the Oversight Committee said they were going to subpoena the testimony of Ghislaine Maxwell, why did Todd Blanche rush down to sit down with Ghislaine Maxwell and have a meeting with her, right? Doesn't that seem suspicious? There's no ongoing investigation. Why is the Deputy Attorney General sitting down with an already convicted sex offender when there isn't an ongoing investigation into this case? Didn't launch an ongoing investigation until he couldn't convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition. That then and only then did he launch an investigation, of course, because that helps him with the release of the files and potentially redacting information with congressional approval. But why then was she rewarded for that meeting and transferred to a minimum security prison in Camp Bryan, Texas? Why was she transferred? Why was an already convicted sex offender transferred? We don't pick up unknown calls. Why was an already convicted sex offender transferred to a minimum security facility when there's no information provided other than Donald Trump didn't act inappropriately? Why would someone who's guilty, right? Why would someone who's not guilty, rather, someone who's completely innocent, be concerned about a guilty person's testimony in front of the Oversight Committee? Why would that scare you? Unless you thought she was going to say something about you. Something damning was going to be released in that testimony. So you sent, coincidentally, your former personal attorney to go sit with her. We now know she's in a minimum security prison getting preferential treatment. Now the question is, are you okay with that? I don't know why people say Trump 2028. Trump can't run again in 2028. The 22nd Amendment explicitly prohibits Donald Trump from running again. So you should stop saying it and go read the 22nd Amendment so you don't embarrass yourself any further. Alan Chavez says, why are you scared and block me, punk? No one's blocking you, Alan. Okay? What are you talking about, Alan? But, Alan, I'm going to do it again just because you said that, all right? Bye, Alan. Call in if you're mad, Alan. Just call in. Right? I'm giving you an opportunity to call in. Why do you need to type? Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Yes, tomorrow is going to be a huge day. We're going to be awaiting the release of the files. I'm going to be on TikTok in the morning. I'm going to be on YouTube at night. And we're going to go through them. We're going to go through them. Jim, you can keep saying Vance Trump 2028. Go read the Constitution, simpleton. That's your best bet. You think you're owning people by saying Trump 2028. You're not owning anyone. Trump derangement syndrome. Shut up, dude. You literally have Trump collectible coins, and you're calling people to have Trump derangement syndrome. He's the president of the United States. Yeah, I'm not blocking you. Blocks him. How was he blocked if he was typing? How's that possible? If he's blocked, how's he typing? This inability to think critically is really hurting us in this chat. It really is, isn't it? I see. Listen, this is the best thing to do. Just type the blue wave, ladies and gentlemen. Just type the blue wave. Just spam the blue wave. Trump supporters get majorly triggered by the blue waves. So all you have to do is just spam the blue wave, and it just silences out the Trump supporter. Can you admit one thing that Trump has done that's good, even one thing? I absolutely can, but you need to call in, 908-652-3703. Chad, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, chances Trump pulls the trigger on Venezuela in days following the release, a great distraction. I think Donald Trump is going to pull the trigger on Venezuela. I'm pretty sure, yes. I don't know if it'll be days after the release, but I think that's very likely. I mean, listen, AOC posted something really good on Twitter. You know what she said? She said you should consider anything political that happens between now and Friday, which is the release of the files, to be a part of that. What you're failing to see is that it's bigger than one individual. You're obsessed with Donald Trump being on the list. He may or may not. What are you talking about? I look at the bigger picture all the time. I literally said this could single-handedly crumble our democracy. That's how serious the Epstein files are. I think it could ruin our democratic constitutional republic. That's how serious I think it is. I think that when you have a system like ours, it relies on people trusting the integrity of that system. And I think if this is a dud and nothing comes out of these files tomorrow, I think it could potentially cause serious problems for this country. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter? Hello?
Adam?
Yes. Are you a Trump supporter?
No. Are you going to be on TikTok tomorrow? What time can we expect you?
I'm going to try and get on as early as I can because of this stuff. I don't know. I can't give you an exact time, but probably like 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central.
All right, cool. All right, thanks.
Yep. Bye-bye. In all honesty, what is releasing the Epstein files going to change? Who exactly does it help? It won't change anything. Yes, it does. It's going to expose, if they're transparent. If they hide information, it's not going to help anything. But if they're transparent, yeah, it's going to expose a lot of corruption. Do you know how much potential blackmail might be taking place behind the scenes based off these files? Do you realize? Here's my prediction. I'm going to make my prediction. Now, I have a strong feeling, based off what I read earlier and what the Department of Justice is saying, they don't have a clear outline on the redactions. I truly believe they're going to be either largely redacted or a dud. That's what I think is going to happen. And then it's up to the American people to connect the dots. You witnessed the cover-up by Trump. You saw Ghislaine Maxwell file a motion the day before the release. You saw Dan Bongino leave the FBI. This is all connected. Can you connect the dots and say, yeah, he's responsible for keeping this information from the public? Or are you just going to believe it was actually a dud this entire time? Sadly, there are people who will just accept that as the truth and move on. And those people are the most dangerous to democracy. Those people are the most dangerous to our republic. The most dangerous. The people willing to accept the narrative the government gives them are the most dangerous people to the continuation of a system like ours. Our system requires transparency, or it ceases to exist. And this matter specifically is not political. It's not political in the sense that it shouldn't matter what your party affiliation is. The truth matters for the continuation of the system. Otherwise, expect people to largely lose faith. What if it does come out? If it does come out, I think Donald Trump ultimately gets impeached. But I think that you're going to see an initial effort to rally behind him and potentially support him. But I think that I think it would seriously affect the midterms, which people are already predicting Democrats to have a successful midterm, and I think ultimately he would be removed. Plus, then you would be able to establish motive for the effort to cover it up. The president's weaponizing the DOJ to conceal criminal information. If there was criminal conduct in there, oh my God, it'd be huge. Oh, wow, they are really going to accept all that corruption? I don't know what that question means. What do you mean accept that corruption? I don't think any of you should accept corruption on either side. But what this political system has turned into, and primarily on the right, is you guys just want to win. It's not about the truth. It's not about maintaining the republic. It's not about the Constitution. You guys care about winning. Trump has affected you so much, it's only about winning to you now. This is a team game for you, red versus blue. It's a football game. He's preyed on the fact that people are incredibly undereducated, specifically when it comes to politics, and ultimately there was a vulnerable base of voters that he could get. If he could get that base to rally behind him, he could get elected and ultimately become president of the United States, and did that. And you're being taken advantage of, and you don't even realize it. The best thing you could do is stand up and say, hey, I do like you, Trump. I like your policies, whatever the case. And say, but this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. But you don't do that. It's fucking sad. Did you guys watch the president? Let's talk about the presidential address last night really quick. Let's talk about the presidential address last night. How many times are you willing to be lied to? How many times are you willing to be lied to? Did you see the graphs that were uploaded yesterday as he was talking? Somebody told me this wasn't played on most networks, but on my live it came up because I was taking the feed directly from the White House. Let's take a look at one of them here. This is the Biden price increase, Trump price decrease graph that Trump had on camera when he was speaking. Let's take a look at that really quick. Okay? Hilarious. Hotel rates, propane, new and used cars, gasoline, airfare, prescriptions, sporting event tickets. Look at the sporting event tickets. Biden increase 49.8%. Trump decrease 9.1%. Percent change. Trump, of course, didn't explain at all how he calculated this mess. Trump claimed that drugs being trafficked by ocean or sea are down 94%. 94%? That doesn't even make sense. Overdose deaths as a result down 30-something percent. 0% illegal border crossings. Turkeys were 33% cheaper this year than they were last year. He lied the entire address. I mean, it made me sick to my stomach. And it's not him lying. I'm used to him lying. It makes me sick to my stomach how many people accept those lies. It's unbelievable to me. Not hearing a debunking. So JTHM, what would you like to start with? The turkeys being 33% cheaper? Even the most pro-Trump source couldn't find them half. I think I found one that was 16%. Try and find 33%. 33%? Do you think turkeys were... Do I really need to debunk that turkeys weren't 33% cheaper? Jesus Christ. Do I really need to debunk that drug trafficking by ocean and sea is down 94%? Do I really have to debunk that? I really have to debunk that for you? You can't tell that's not true? Like you don't understand that's impossible? Didn't Donald Trump say last night people are paying gas? He heard $1.99? Listen, I don't believe. Don't start naming gas. I can tell you right now. Don't start throwing out gas prices. I had a Trump supporter come on the live the other day claiming he paid $1.99 or two. He said he paid $2.10. There was two of them. One guy said he paid $2.10, and he showed me a fake receipt, something he Googled, and then another guy came up and told me he had a bunch of rewards. Well, that doesn't count. You didn't pay $1.99. And if you did, show me a fucking receipt. $1.96 and $2.12, yeah. Fucking insane. Not true. He said $2.16. I thought he said one. Oh no, he did say $1.96. You talking about the guest on my live or Trump? I thought Trump said something about $1.99 or something. Either way, tomorrow's going to be a busy day, folks. I imagine we're going to be live a little bit longer than normal tomorrow, if it gets released. But I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. Trump supporters are going to try and come on and be like, you said there was going to be a picture of him doing it in there. No, I didn't. This is what you're going to hear a lot of tomorrow. You said Trump would be in there doing... No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I have no idea to what extent he had a relationship with Epstein. But the effort to cover it up pretty much proves that it's beyond what he's told us. 278. Yeah. That sounds about right. No, the guest on my live, too. Trump said something, too, though. Somebody brought it up today, but I honestly don't remember saying. Honestly, I can't remember. All right, let me read through this really quick. I just want to say this, too, because this is important. This is relevant and important. Okay? I read through this earlier, but I want to do it again. Okay? So this is an article related to the release of the files. This is sources leaking information. Frustration is mounting inside the Department of Justice as it races to redact thousands of pages of files related to Jeffrey Epstein before they must be released Friday. A substantial number of redactions are needed, one of the sources said, and the documents each attorney is processing since Thanksgiving week can number more than 1,000. Lawyers working on the Epstein files at the DOJ's National Security Division also believe they aren't getting clear or comprehensive direction on how to make the most information available under the law. Counterintelligence specialists were asked to drop nearly all of their work to process the Epstein files, two people said, but some lawyers declined to participate. The situation suggests that a potential headache connected to the transparency for the Epstein files may not disappear with Friday's deadline. In whatever becomes public on Friday, sources said there will still be extensive amounts of information redacted. The type of lack of transparency that the American public may continue to scrutinize. Folks, this is breaking right now. They're already talking about it. In whatever becomes public on Friday, sources are now saying there will be extensive amounts of information redacted. The type of lack of transparency that the American public may continue to scrutinize. Some legal document specialists are already preparing for the possibility that the Department of Justice release of the files will have more redactions than what is required, and that there may be mistakes in what's redacted as well and what's made public. Mistakes especially could relate to the disclosure of sensitive personal information because of the volume of documents and how fast lawyers have had to work according to their sources. Either they're going to screw it up or they're going to withhold things. It wouldn't surprise me, said one lawyer outside the Justice Department who was waiting to release to determine whether or not there should be complaints made about how the redaction work was done. Some of it may be incompetence as much as deliberate. Let me read that quote again. Some of it may be incompetence as much as deliberate. The Epstein files are vast, thousands of records held by different sections of federal law enforcement. But it's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And I'm definitely not going to excuse it. Complete bullshit. Here we go, folks. So you can pretty much expect tomorrow to be a fucking shit show. It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you angry. Holy shit. So what they're going to say, what's going to happen is the Department of Justice is going to claim that they fucked up the redactions. Remember, they did this already. Remember when the Department of Justice released the Kennedy assassination documents? Remember that? They made a bunch of mistakes there too. Released Social Security numbers and other private information of more than 400 former congressional staffers. They are going to screw this up. But I want you to pay attention to this quote here because this is so important. Because I'm sure they're going to claim that they screwed up, that it was a mistake. And I know that's what they're going to do. Either they're going to screw it up or they're going to withhold things. It wouldn't surprise me. Some of it may be incompetence as much as deliberate. Kind of what we predicted. Remember when I said in the beginning, I really thought, my brain's telling me, well, how could they do that without whistleblowers? And there may be whistleblowers down the line. Who knows? How could they do this without other people knowing they did it deliberately? But that looks like that's exactly what's about to happen tomorrow. Man, that makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. All right, folks. I'm going to pop off here for a little bit. Appreciate you guys coming. I had my phone turned off. I didn't even realize. That's probably why I wasn't getting a call. Whoops. Oh, well, it doesn't matter anyway. It was nice to have a 20-minute break from talking to these Muppets. All right, guys, I appreciate you coming. Tomorrow's going to be, I would like to stay longer, turn my phone on, keep it on for an hour, and just take some more calls, take some calls on this. But I know tomorrow's going to be a headache, so I'd rather bounce. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good holiday season. Hope you have your Christmas trees up. Hope if you celebrate Christmas, watching Christmas movies, get in the spirit. That's what you got to do. You got to get in the spirit a little bit. Get a cup of hot cocoa, sit down by the tree, and watch your favorite Christmas movie. Put on a little Nat King Cole, my favorite, Bing Crosby. Sit down, watch a little Christmas movie. Disconnect from all this nonsense. You got to do it. Yeah, it'll be frustrating. I'm getting myself mentally prepared for it because I think it's going to make me so angry. I'm just going to be like, I don't even want to fucking go on social media. So I'm prepared that that's what's going to happen. And it is what it is, I'm going to be on in the morning. I can't give an exact time, but sometime in the morning. Probably as early as I can, Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Guys, if you're new here, make sure you do hit that follow button. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. All right? I'm sorry, it's the subscribe button. It should be up here if you're on a phone somewhere, but the subscribe button. All right, everybody. Take care. Yeah, I'll look at it, Danielle. I will, 100%. I got you. I'll go watch General Hospital. That's actually a good one, Lorraine. Whatever calms you down. Die Hard? Yeah. Yeah, probably between 9:30 and 10 Eastern, I would say. It's probably a good guess. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.